Hello, this is Miss Schrader. Today we are going to be talking about Constantine the Great. My students, you're going to need a piece of paper and something to write with so that you can take notes. When you're done, you're going to be giving me 5 sentences, either in a Google Doc or on your piece of paper. They should be complete sentences in a paragraph form, telling me things that you find interesting, educational, and important about Constantine the Great. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the picture that you're looking at right now. This is a bust of Constantine from during his lifetime, so it probably is fairly accurate. It is in the Capitoline Museum in Rome, Italy today, and it is made from white marble. So Constantine was the son of the guy you can see right here. His name was Flavius Constantinus. He was a soldier from the area that is today Serbia in Europe. In fact, his son was born around 274 CE in the area known as Dacia, Mediterranean, which is today Serbia. Flavius Constantinus was a soldier, worked his way up through being a general. Eventually, he becomes emperor. Upon his death, his son, Constantine, was elected emperor by his soldiers. In 306 CE, with the death of Flavius Constantinus, um, Constantine's father, Constantine was declared emperor by his soldiers. At the time, Constantine was in York, in England, um, keeping control of the British people there. And his soldiers, when they learned that the emperor had died, were concerned that, quite frankly, they would lose their jobs if the new emperor was less interested in war. And so they decided to declare Constantine the new emperor. This statue of Constantine, which is in York, on the site where he was declared emperor, is a modern statue put in the early part of the 21st century. Now, when Constantine became emperor, he's famous for a lot of things. One of the things is that, yeah, he continued to have wars and he was victorious over the Franks and the Alemanni. That would be the French and the Germans. So Constantine is famous for quite a few things. One of the main things that he's famous for is the fact that he moved the capital of Rome from the city of Rome, which you can see kind of in the center of this picture, all the way over to the right side of the picture to the town that was named Constantinople after himself. Constantinople literally means the city of Constantine. So he built up the city there and created Constantinople. And when he does this, he has moved the center, the heart of Rome, to the far eastern part of the empire. As a result of which, the areas in the west begin to be neglected. People are no longer as interested. Eventually, much later after Constantine's death, when the empire is actually split into, the western part is much weaker. And this is the column of Constantine, built in Constantinople. Constantinople was built starting in 324 CE, current era. It was originally called Nueva Roma, New Rome, because the idea is that they are moving the capital to this new city. Prior to Constantine, a lot of Roman emperors were persecuting Christians. They didn't like Christianity. Christians were frequently refusing to worship Roman gods, and so the emperors had a problem with it. Constantine tolerated Christianity in the early parts of his reign. Christianity had grown to be a very large religion. But there's this wonderful famous story that during the rebellion of Maxentius, he has a vision, Constantine does, and he sees something in the sky that says, "In hoc signa vinces." In this sign, thou shalt conquer. And it is a cross. And you can see it in this image. And so he paints crosses onto all of his soldiers' shields, and he wins the battle. As a result of which, he announces that Christianity will be the main religion of Rome. Constantine's mother, Helena, shown here, had converted to Christianity, had become extremely Christian, and so she had a big influence on him concerning this. One of the things that she is famous for, she went to Jerusalem looking for the cross that Jesus was crucified on. And supposedly she found it and brought it back. And throughout Europe, there are pieces of wood that are declared to be parts of the true cross. Now, did she find it? Well, most historians will point out to you that when the emperor's mother goes to Jerusalem to find the true cross, you better make sure that she finds it. So a cross was presumably given to her that she could believe was the true cross. The picture you're looking at is a medieval picture done many, many years later. Another thing that Constantine is famous for is the First Council of Nicaea. Nicaea is a city in modern day Turkey, so it was close to Constantinople. Because Christianity had now been accepted as the official religion of Rome, a lot of the strange things that some people in Christianity were saying were acceptable, some people weren't saying were acceptable. So he brought together this council of bishops and archbishops to decide what goes into the Christian church. They're the ones who made the decision about what goes into the Bible, because there were certain passages, certain gospels that people were following, and that the council decided, no, we're not going to go with that idea. If you are a Roman Catholic, there is the Nicene Creed, which is said every time we have Mass. I believe in God, the Father, the Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. That's the Nicene Creed. This picture that you see shows Constantine in the center, along with archbishops, basically giving the Nicene Creed to the masses of the people. This is a medieval picture, so much later, but it's basically acknowledging that these are the things that you will believe if you are a Christian. Despite his efforts to help the Christian church, Constantine himself postponed being baptized into the Christian church. There's a lot of reason to assume that he didn't want to alienate people who had chosen not to become Christians. He waits until the very end of his life before he is finally baptized. He died in 337 CE, and was baptized shortly before. The picture that you're looking at, which shows him in the middle being baptized by the Pope, is actually from the Renaissance. It is said to have been done by the students of the very famous artist Raphael. In time, Constantine was canonized, that is, he was made a saint in the Eastern Orthodox Church, not the Roman Catholic Church, and his feast day is on May 29th. This picture, once again, a Renaissance piece by Rubens, showing Constantine apparently being given the orb, which makes him a saint. All right, my students, you're going to be giving me 5 complete sentences in paragraph form, showing me what you found interesting, educational, and important about Constantine. Make sure you get that done. You can turn it in either on a piece of paper or in a Google Doc. Thank you.